Oh.
Woo! So that was an episode, people. 86 viewers in the chat, by the way, too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Let's fucking go. So I was gonna say, you want to know what that reminded me of when the boat took off? So remember the episode of XY where everybody had to dance with each other, like they had to find a dancing partner, and right before Serena gets to dance with Ash, the dance is like over, like it stops, it gets interrupted, and they don't get the chance to do it. Ash finally does meet up with Serena again, but when they meet up, the boat's taking off already. Also, thank you, Joedaflamin. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So, yeah, it was one of those, like, we finally met each other. I can't clip. Oh, damn. So, yeah, they finally get to meet each other, but unfortunately, they, like, get separated by fate. Like, something else comes in its way to do it. I don't... So, let me... well, we got to let the others speak, but to give a brief start for now, I'm legitimately impressed by what we just saw, because 100%. They found a way to put her in without fucking her up. But there are some things I do have that are jarring, and I'll get into them later. No ketchup was consumed today, man. I never knew I was following prior. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, but with that being said, Emmy, do you want to talk first, or do you want to let the others go?
I'll talk with you. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll let the others speak and say what they have to say, and then we'll get into it, and then I'll discuss it. So,
let's head over to stage.
Oh, stage? That's where we go?
Yeah.
All right, then. Let's head over to stage, then.
Alright, just getting some.
Alright,
there we go.
Awesome. Alright. And then we'll have everybody say what they need to say their takes and their pieces. At the end, you could tell so many things in Serena's head. You want to find out what she's thinking. But they don't tell it. I'm glad about that. Like, I'm glad they don't do all of that. They meet, they see each other, they say what they're doing, and then they leave. It feels natural. It's not like a whole, remember this? Or like, but I said I'd let everybody else speak. So, go ahead and invite them in.
Alright, okay, so we're getting to the post-discussion. So we're just gonna invite some peeps in here. So first up, we're gonna have
Eebo. Yep.
We're gonna have Felipe. We're also gonna have Kuro in here. And, yeah.
Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going?
How's it going, guys?
Well. How about you?
I thought this was gonna be like a 7 out of 10 for me, but like, no, it's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yo, do the same!
Go ahead. Like the battle. The battle between Ash. I know that wasn't the focus, but they pretty much screwed up with the whole not champion, but
Wallace got screwed in this one. They got screwed. They had to sacrifice Wallace to
the gym badge.
They had to sacrifice Wallace to the Amor gods on that one.
But it would have been funny if Ash mentioned he already had this gym badge and just left. He just think through it or something.
Right?
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
But funny.
So, do we have an order who goes when?
I mean, Felipe, you're already speaking, so go ahead.
Yeah.
And then,
really thought this episode was good. I thought Serena was not going to be Ash at the end there. I thought it was going to be like Ash was going to recognize the little bow that the Eevee had. That would have been very good enough for me, but this is it's alright. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin Serena. Also, notice that unlike most of the returning characters, Serena actually has an outfit design change. So I thought that was pretty good.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could count Iris with the champion outfit, but can you really count that?
Not really. Like, they came with our game. We'll comment on that later, because I definitely do have thoughts. But, Felipe, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Rating out of 10?
Rating 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Nice.
9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Also, Serena should have won.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
I think if I had to interject there, I think what happened is that they didn't want the girl from Oros to be shown up. Like, it would be awkward. I guess they thought it'd be awkward if the moment she shows up, she loses. So they had to
first episode, yeah.
So they had to like pull that. I think unfortunately, her and Wallace are the weakest aspects of the episode.
And they were the
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I know, right?
But let's let the next person go ahead.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Evo.
Actually, why don't you let Kuro go next?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Kuro.
Okay, go ahead, Kuro.
Okay, so, Amy, when I told you to not worry, I meant it.
I know.
No need to worry.
Same here, Amy.
But at least, you know, I know how to deliver the message, unlike Dawn. And why wasn't this the episode on your birthday? That's all I have to say.
Right, I know. This episode could have been nicely last week, and I would have been so happy. But no. But okay. But it's fine. But yeah, go ahead.
There is so much to process. Like, I'm not going to read everything that I have on my notes because I don't have time and you don't have patience. But Ash defeating Wallace, like, you know. It's called practice, so I guess that, you know, Wallace got the older treatment, like it's a former champion, so whatever. He got the champion cloak from the manga, so I guess that, you know, that was a nice detail. He battled Walrein and Swampert. Those are Pokemon from the Black and White 2 World Tournament. That's why Lisia had the Unova soundtrack. So yeah, there's a nice touch. The blue ankle on the blue ribbon on the ankle. Everyone was saying, "Oh, where's the ribbon? Where's the ribbon?" I'm like, guys, if Serena told Ash that he's her goal, he means that she wants to be her equal. So it makes sense that she will use the ribbon where it matters the most. The battlefield. What's her battlefield? The stage, right? So of course that, you know, she would wear the ribbon where it truly matters. She looks older, and now I'm like, so did Gary. Why can everyone age besides Ash? Also, poor Chespin. Braixen could evolve, but Chespin couldn't. Like, god damn.
I mean, that one's kind of obvious. They kept Chespin the way it is specifically because Froakie was in that episode too. So it's a way to show off 2 of the Kalos starters. Serena already evolved Fennekin into Braixen, so there's no so they couldn't backpedal on it.
Yeah, and you know, it's her third design, so you know, it shows her growth and independence. It's like how when Combusken evolved into Blaziken for May, it's like, okay, it's time for you to, you know, move on, right?
Yeah.
So, there's that. They are in Lily Cove, right? So where the land ends and the sea begins, right? That's the Japanese slogan. So it bookends Koharu's journey with Eevee, like, you know, it started with Vaporeon in Lily Cove. And they do address that. They address all of the evolutions. I'm like, damn, they did not have to do that. I'm legit surprised.
Yeah.
Eevee doing, you know, the tackle on the fairy wind. She got that from Ash. Like, use the hurricane as footing. Like, she took that from Ash versus Misty in the Alola episode.
Yeah, I think my problem is that it wasn't animated well. I get it. It's our first time, but it looks very lackluster.
Yeah.
You know, she paraphrases Ash a lot, but it's very organic. So, you know,
not forced.
It's not forced. I feel like that's the beauty of this episode. Everyone is saying, "Oh, Wallace was, you know, just cock blocking. He was just preventing." And I'm like, Wallace was a petty uncle. Like Ash met Steven. Like Ash met Steven twice, and he remembered Steven, but he didn't remember Wallace. Like, I feel like, you know, it was meant for gags and whatever. But you know that. When Serena was doing, you know, the flamethrower Dark Pulse, and they had those rings, it looks like the clockwork from Anastar's Sundial. And when she did the Ice Chandelier with the Stone Edge, that's the Anastar Sundial. They did she did the Fire Ice Chandelier better than Dawn. Like, what the hell? Also, Sylveon got Quick Attack. That's a nod to Pikachu. Bansham got Ice Punch. That's a move tutor from Aurus. So I guess that, you know, there's that. Ali, right? Ali, you know, Lisia's Altaria. They performed the master rank of contests in the beauty aspect because she has, you know, Mist and the Draco Meteor. I'm sorry. So she Mega Evolves and she makes it rain meteors. So yeah, you are fairy type, so they are not going to, you know, attack you with an AoE, so you basically have an immunity to yourself, so that was nice. And of course everyone is going to say, oh, they ruined contests, and I'm like, Not really. They didn't ruin contests in my eyes. They didn't butcher it. They just created a different venue. They are contest spectaculars. They are contests live. Imagine this as, you know, it's like in the manga. You have 20 ribbons for the 5 categories. This is basically the battle frontier of contests. Like, and Serena and Lisia being here and being a idol duel together, like, that's just amazing. And it shows that, you know, contests, just like many sports, as time progresses, rules change. If you need to adapt to a sport. If you are not up to the task, then you don't deserve to be a coordinator. Like, you need to adapt to change in the world, right? So they kind of branched out contests, but, you know, she gets the trinket, right? Eevee gets, you know, I guess that Serena got, you know, earrings and Koharu got clip-ons for a moment, but, you know, Eevee got the trinket because Eevee always gets the trinket. In the flashback, X and Y 105, the evolution episode, and this is Journeys 105. They really like the number 105. Eevee in the flashback had the male pattern tail. They didn't retcon that, so I have to appreciate it. Like, this was just simply amazing, man. And, you know, Lisia's VA, it's the wife of Yuki Kaiji, Clement, and she said Kira Kira, and I'm like, yeah, nice. The music was amazing. The music was like the best part of the episode. They knew exactly which track to put in each scene, and, you know, yeah, they had to tie. It's basically, you know, 3 Pokemon against 1 Mega. They both have room to grow. It reminds me of Ash versus May. So, you know, they are equals to one another. They bring Serena to the fray, but they don't butcher Lisia in her own debut. So it's a nice compromise, I suppose. And, you know, just like in the adventure opening, they say Aruka Kanata and, you know, Minamosti, right? So it's far away distance in Lily Cove City, so they address the opening in this episode as well, right? And Aruka Kanata, it's May and Kelly. They battle here. It was May's 3rd ribbon. It was right in the middle, where the land ends and the sea begins. They did not have to do that. Also, Ash battled Wallace. I guess that's paralleling Steven and Alan. Pikachu has a 3 kill count on Milotic, I guess. And, you know, the end, right? That's a more moment.
let's give it a number ranking, Kuro, for...
It's 10! It's 10 at the bare minimum, dude. This episode is absolutely perfect. It's tied with me with Viscous and Wigstrom. This is how you do a character return, man.
Alright, so who do we got next?
Evo.
Me, I guess.
Evo, go ahead, Evo.
Alright, first off, how do I sound? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Okay, so when I first found out about Serena's return, most of you knew how I reacted. I was a roller coaster of emotions, especially Joker, Luce, and even Kuro. You guys knew they were about to butcher my favorite character. So when I saw the leaks Monday, I'm like, oh god. But when the episode came out itself, it became my 2nd favorite episode of Journeys, like right away. That's a 10. It's perfect. They did Serena better than how they did Dawn, only because with Dawn, she was like forcing her Koharu to get into contests, but with Serena, it felt natural. I really like that, and I like that Serena didn't shift the focus away from Koharu, because, as Kuro said, it was like they concluded Koharu's story with all the Eevees they've met up, and now the next chapter begins with her discovering contests. So I guess this is the penultimate episode for Koharu for Journeys, and then never see her again, probably. But overall, it's such a fantastic episode. And that, like, this is just the potatoes. The meat just goes into the last 2 minutes, because that was the thing I was the most afraid of. Because many people didn't want more shipping to happen in the episode. I didn't as well, because we all knew how bad that would go. But they did probably the best thing they could have done. It didn't feel forced. It felt natural. Like, and they also have a running gag that people have even mentioned. It's like, right as they say goodbye to each other, they both cheer each other on, and then that without even having to say goodbye, they just say arigato at the end. I think that's like, it's very good symbolism to how they ended in XYZ. So I thought that was nice. And I don't think TSS is going to bring this up, but I wanted to bring up a nice literary device someone showed me today after I watched the episode this morning, because this is very good visual representation. The green lights at the end of the dock, there are literally references to The Great Gatsby, and there's a quote from the movie that says, "There's an ancient legend in Northern Europe, as one As long as one sees a green light in one's life, one's wish will come true. And I'm not going to go into that, but it means that as long as you see the green light, you can see your own mind and your lover's mind, and can perceive true amour, which is something about the symbolism of hope for Gatsby's love and all that crap. Bottom line, what this means is that it's the green light represents hopes and dreams for the future, which is kind of like what they did with Lycanroc at the end of Sun and Moon. So this is now the second time in the series this has happened. But the reason I bring this up is this is how they kind of address that amour shipping and all that crap will continue further into the series. And I even like that Ash said, "See you again," which implies stuff for later on in the future, which I don't need to iterate. So for anyone who thinks the ship has sank, those memes can die, because we just had that proof at the very end.
The ship has sailed! They went on a boat! The ship has sailed and it's
exactly!
Kind of weird that Ash was in the boat with Go and Kaharu, but we don't mention that.
Serena and Koharu doing that little, shopping. Serena, you did it. Like, Arya gave you clothes, now you give clothes to another redhead.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I also love the callbacks they did with the other EVs.
In the contest hall, the infrastructure, it's the same. That ribbon is the same. It's blue and green. Why? It's the eye colors of Serena and Koharu. It's blue and green. This is perfect. This is beyond immaculate.
So, I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10 just because of the battle.
Okay,
this is 10. This is a 10 for me too. Like, I mean, normally I wouldn't give Journeys 10s because it's been such a roller coaster lately.
Right.
Normally I would give it 8.
So
right,
when
so we have 9s and 10s.
9s and 10s pretty much at this point. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next group.
Give another group a chance to go ahead and speak.
Yes.
All right. So thank you guys for giving your opinions. We appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Okay. So next up, we're gonna have Joker in here. We're gonna have Hyprov in here. We're gonna have Nessa.
Oh, Nessa. What's up, Nessa?
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
All right. So who we gonna start off with first?
Yeah. Who would like to speak first?
Don't all shot at once.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start picking people. Hyprov, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I was worried about you guys. I was worried as the next person about this episode.
Uh-huh.
But after seeing it firsthand, this episode really took my breath away. They did this episode perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the characters weren't forced. All the stuff in this episode wasn't forced. Oh my god, too many words for me.
It's okay. I know. I feel the same as you have. Probably, dude. I was so stressed out for this episode, and then watching it, there's hope again.
I'm just
there's
like,
hope.
To me, I'm just like, damn. I had to go ahead and react to the episode in order for it to be good. It's like a fine. I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself. What up, Kid Media? This episode showed that the writers could have gave Dawn the same treatment, but they didn't.
Yep.
You're creepishly moving into my take on the episode right now. So kids creepishly going close to like where my brain is right now, because I was about to say the same fucking thing. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going, Hyprov.
Oh, I love the moment. I love the moments between Serena and Koharu. The moment between Lisia and Koharu.
Mm.
I love the performances. Oh boy. Oh my god. I love Serena's entrance. Sylveon's Fairy Wind. Beautifully animated. Oh my god. I just have racing thoughts right now. This is a lot for me to take in. Okay.
Well, while you're processing, let's go ahead and give it to Joker.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Hey, let's go!
Joker's
happy!
Guys.
It's the reverse of the Slowpoke episode. Let's go!
I'm so I'm so happy. This was an 8 out of 10.
Hey, let's get it! Yeah!
Oh my god. I didn't think I'd hear that from you ever.
I know. It's such a... I'm so happy. I was so scared she would have to drink ketchup and she doesn't know. You can throw that ketchup in the garbage now, or you can return it. I don't know what the return policy on ketchup is, but try and return it, please.
I was so
Yeah.
I was like, this episode better be good.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, I just really liked it. They did so many good things. Like,
I know.
the only bad thing I can say is that Eevee was there and it should have been Wampachi, but that's just me.
I would have loved if they had her use both. Like, I see no reason why they couldn't.
Cool.
He was even watching and he wanted to be there.
Hey, what's up, Hikari-chan? Thank you for following. Yeah, it could have used Spark or like Discharge or something on the Fairy Wind. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Electric and Fairy would work really well.
Or Electric. It could have learned Electric Terrain. It could have learned Electric Terrain, and then they could have used Fairy Wind, and that would have been kind of dope.
That would have been. And it kind of like be like sizzling out there, and then both of them would shine.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they were like, all right, we're going to use most of the animation budget for Serena, so hurry it the fuck up, car. Jump on your little Fairy Wind and get it over with.
I'm just so happy. Like, thank goodness this wasn't like Dawn. Oh my god, that was so terrible.
That was so bad.
But yeah,
I was like jokingly like, dude, I was like, Serena's better than God in contest.
Yo, say that again. It's so true.
Like,
bruh.
She is strong.
So, Joker, is that all your thoughts, or you still got more? Or?
Well, that's I literally like just agree with everything that everyone said. It's just a good episode. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about it. I'm just surprised. Like, my breath was taken away when I was watching it. I was like, "Is this Journeys?" But it was.
Is that you? Is that you, Journeys?
But yeah, it was just.
Is that you?
It's just an 8 out of 10.
All right, that's a good score.
Thank you.
All right, Nessa, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so legitimately, just like everyone else, I was actually scared about this episode because, like, I think everything when it started on Monday with those leaks about Serena coming back, I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" That was basically my reaction. I was like, I love Serena, but I did not want to learn her return like this way, like by the leaks.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it got worse and worse and worse, where it got to a point where, like, and I think on Twitter, I muted like over 50 people that talked about Serena. I was like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear her name. I don't want to hear nothing until Friday. So you guys shut the fuck up.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I was like, I got sick of everyone's bullshit. And so. Yeah. Right, then so today was so nice. I didn't know anything prior to now. So now after watching this episode, I am happy. Good. I actually have happy tears coming out of my eyes at the end of the episode. I'm like, what? Have I cried? Like I guess I wasn't expecting to see Journeys just like this episode be so good. I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was legitimately shocked though, and then I just had a great time like the entire episode from here and out. It was like the first time I guess in Journeys it felt pretty organic to me.
Effort, honest to God, effort. Well, thank you, Basal.
It was freaking effort. Yes, it was the first time. I don't know. It was just it's been a feeling that I have not felt for a long time, and then there's like some episodes that were pretty close like to me, But yeah, this one's like pretty much like gone to the top for me when I was just like, wow, I can't believe like it was really good.
Yeah.
And I think the writers were also under a lot of pressure because they knew if they fucked up Serena, we would not hear the end of it.
I think Kuro, if you're still in the chat, I want you to answer this because I think you figured it out or may figure it out. I want to know, were the XY writers in charge of this episode? Because it feels like something the XY writers would do. This doesn't feel like a Journeys thing. This feels like an XY
Yajima wasn't
thing.
in the episode.
You said what?
Yeah, no. Yajima wasn't in the episode, so
he wasn't? He had to have tossed some notes. But he had to have tossed some notes. This feels like a his thing.
It does though. I was like, it felt like something. You know, I was like, this is not Journey. This feels like a different series. I was like,
this writer's been here since the original series. Okay, I can see it.
Oh, is it with his face? I think because he wrote like I forgot the name right now. It doesn't start with an A usually.
I don't remember. But Nessa, were you going to give it a score?
Maybe, I don't have a score yet. I might have to rewatch the episode.
Oh yeah, we got the Pokepod. You're on the Pokepod, so you might have to show.
Yeah, so I might give more of my thoughts on Monday. So I'm gonna but this is just my first impressions because sometimes there's some things I missed the first time around, so I have to rewatch it. I
got to rewatch it again for the review.
Yeah,
and I'm probably just gonna watch this one again because I just want to.
It's good.
It's a good episode.
I did have like a funny funny moment when I love how Wallace honed Hash's head. He's like, how dare you not remember me?
No, I know.
They did Wallace dirty. They drove that man through the mud. I don't even know what the fuck that was exactly.
And then he was like, "Oh, you remember Steven, but you don't remember me."
Oh, the episode director did the baking competition. No wonder this episode is good.
I can see it. I actually do like the baking episode, so that makes sense. All right, cool. Sounds
Thank you,
good.
Kuro.
All right.
Baking episode was a top 15 for me, so
yeah. All right. So, are we all set? Did everybody say their pieces?
Actually, I still need to finish.
Oh, Hyprov. Okay, you finally processed everything now.
Yep. Yeah, maybe he did do Wallace dirty. I mean, Ash can remember the heck out of him, but he can remember Steven. Although, granted, he hasn't.
Well, the problem is he remembers Drake. And,
True.
Ash remembers Drake, but doesn't remember fucking Wallace, and Wallace showed up after the fact.
Yeah, and also he hosted the Wallace Cup. I'm like, you were in this Wallace Cup.
Maybe it was because he never bowed Wallace before.
Yeah, but he went to the Wallace Cup hosted by Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Now
I don't know. It's just weird.
The focus on the Ash and Go was quite small. They were there, but they really weren't the main focus. The main focus was Kentarō and Serena. Getting to performance, when I saw that her breaks involved in Delphox, I was like, mind blown. I prefer breaks over Delphox, but I felt that it was quite development. With Serena's new outfit, I felt that Breakson had to evolve along with it. That's how I saw it. Yeah,
they did a thing on Twitter, I believe, where it showed regular Serena and Fennekin, and then it showed her outfit change and Breakson. Then it showed this, I guess, and the Delphox.
And with that, I'm now starting to sense a pattern. For the past 3 generations, all the water stars from each from Gen 6, 7, and 8, along with the fire stars, have all fully evolved, while grass stars have really remained unevolved, which can really tell you about something.
That's weird, yeah.
I know it's weird.
That is weird.
As for performances, oh my god. Serena's performance was excellent. Dawn, you hearing this? I'm gonna...
What, you didn't like Dawn's display of just Whirlpool and nothing else?
Dawn, I know I love your return, but that was a big freaking mistake! You see a Flame Ice? You see a Flame Ice that Serena made? That could have been yours! Screw you!
This is Hode.
I like that you said that.
I just, because I think the problem here is that didn't Dawn, she did a little bit of performance in the middle of at nighttime in a wasteland that nobody cared about, with Piplup using Whirlpool, and that was about it.
Serena's was far more superior compared to Dawn's.
Yeah.
And this is not coming from X and Y bias. I really loved that performance. The last 2 minutes really sold it for me. I know it's little, but the interaction between Ash and Serena really wasn't forced. Ash was just about to label the ship.
That Serena episode was the best episode Dawn's been in Johnny's. That girl's PNG, man. That girl's PNG scored higher than all our episodes combined.
Man, I loved how the episode ended. I feel that Serena will return, but I'm not getting my hopes up on this one. Oh my god.
Did you give it a score?
What would you give it? Yeah, what would you give it?
Okay, let me ask you this. What is the square root of 100? 10. That's
10.
my score. That is my
10
score.
out of 10.
I love 10.
10s, 9s,
Wow.
10s, 9s, 8s, and 10s.
This is the highest score for any watch party.
Oh, this
so
is
long.
This is I am all shocked. I don't.
You win this week. You win this week.
All right, Journey.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, right. Thank you, group. I appreciate it. I'm glad you all got to speak. Let's get in the next group of people in here. Let's hear what they got to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be
all right.
Our last group.
And then I'll say shit. No. No.
And then I'll say some things too.
The pressure, fam.
I know, right? All right. Okay. Our last group in here.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. What's up?
Right.
What's up,
Hello,
people?
everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm Ryan from Twitch. I follow Twitch. Your Kentarō on Twitch.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, and
Thank you for your continued support.
And I have a Twitter account and Instagram.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Glad to
Hey,
see
do you want to start off?
Okay.
Skyryan?
Well, this episode has been really awesome.
Good.
Ashton Go went to Lilyco City off screen. Ren tells Chloe that there's Sylveon there. And they wanted Chloe to meet Ash and Go. But Chloe receives a contest pass and Pokéblock case from Lisia. I mean, it's really a surprise. I mean, and she became popular. I mean, the Sylveon was from previews. I mean, they've been. It was shown that it was Serena. I mean, the team did a great idea keeping her a secret the entire time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had leakers, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah. Love Serena's new outfit, which is based on the customization of XY.
Mm-hmm.
X and Pokemon Y version.
Oh, from the games, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it really... I mean, the flashbacks Serena talked about are Eevee. They all been reanimated to match the style of Pokemon Journeys. Eevee's debut in a Frockling Find in the Flowers, Eevee's Showcase debut in a Dancing debut, and Eevee's Evolution Party Dance Cafe. I mean, and there's also one thing to mention is that Wallace and Alice has returned as well. And this marks the first of several human beings. Wallace is first, whose last physical appearance was in Strategy with a Smile, 604 episodes earlier, not counting Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
May, who's lasting as Dream Continues, who's 397 episodes earlier, and Serena's last week. So we compete again 253 episodes earlier. I'm counting Legend of X, Y, and Z and the Clone Silent episode.
Cool.
Wallace uses Swampert and Walrein. It's a nod to Black 2 and White 2, which he used them during the Pokemon World Tour. I mean, and Chloe and Eevee met every evolution, which Eevee has gained all of the types. I mean, same bookend, the first encounter of evolution on land and sea and to the future. I mean, the cycle is completed. Yeah. And this episode marks the first appearance of a numbers Pokemon. Walrein, the last appearance, Hurdle of Squirtle, 800 episodes earlier, and Delphox is per
year and a half more left to go.
Breloom, ever since Cal's League Passion with a certain flair. This marks the first time a contest has occurred in a repeat location. And it's the first appearance which Val Contesta and Mr. Zukisu never appeared. With the flashback of May. May appeared in Pokemon in this episode. I was happy to have Steven returning. Steven, May, Serena, and Wallace, all 4 coming back. As well as a few tracks from Shinji Miyazaki, Parflume Palace, and there's a new track which the Ash and Go theme in a different arranged version.
Yeah.
For now, Max is the only main character who hasn't shown any capacity during the Pokemon journeys. As well as Alder, who's the previously introduced regional champion as well. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Hey, Serena tells Chloe never give up until the end. And Chloe acknowledges that Ash and Go are about to meet Chloe when Wallace stops at them. And of course Wallace recalled the time when to Ash's friends May and Dawn.
Yep.
They all really, and Ash really called Steven in as well. And the outfit that Chloe wears is a nod to the Alpha, Sapphire, and Omega series.
Yeah.
Well, and as Go's watching the performance entirely, the rival theme battle, where during the first performances, Ash fights Wallace Swampert with Dragonite. He fights Walrein with Dracofish, and finally Milotic with Pikachu. And Cerise was embarrassed to see Chloe performing. And the final performance being Lisia and Alti. This theme song, Ash's Best Wishes / Black and White theme plays. Really love how she uses makeup. This game, Lisia and Drasna has Mega Altaria. Two Altaria owners who can Mega Evolve.
Yeah.
And Wallace gives Ash his cape, and it turns out, and Lisia and Serena has a tie. All while Go catches Altaria. And turns out, Ash really reunited Serena for a while. Because Ash is in the World Coronation Series and Serena is in the contest period.
Yeah.
And that's the next step for Chloe and her comrade.
So if you were to give this,
but the preview. Jesse and James are now saying, "Wonder what kind of Pokemon will meet."
If you were to give this episode a rating, what would you give it?
A 10 million out of 10.
Oh, that's
all right.
That's a lot.
Really good part.
Team Rocket. We're coming up to the Team Rocket episode next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So who we got next?
Review.
Ash.
Yeah. So I think Goldminor could go next.
Yeah, Goldminor. Go ahead.
Whoa! Holy shit! I'm in the stage. Hey,
what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
it's been ages since I actually voiced something. So anyway, So I think Eebo has said a lot of things that I wanted to say. I think it's a really good combination of all the things Koharu has done. 13 out of 100 episodes of them, and the reunion feels. I feel like they could easily fail this, but somehow, by some miracle, they didn't. And it's probably awarded by one of the best characters in the show. And
yes,
everything. Everything about this just feels so good. Like they could easily fail this, but they really pulled through as best as they could in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is a Pokemon Journeys episode.
Right.
Yeah.
It felt so organic. And like Ebo said, I think this is not Serena's last time coming to the show. And plus, I feel like I don't want to really promote shipping, but I do feel like this, even though it's just a fraction of a second, I feel like it shows that this friendship is more than just another Ash companion he journeyed before. It felt more than that.
Right.
Like, particularly with Ash and Serena, it felt more than just it's just a past companion, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so I guess I can give a little trivia, I guess. I don't really have much in terms of thing, but I can give a little trivia. Do you know, like, exactly on this episode air, if you know the anime Your Name or Kimi no Nawa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reunion with Taki and Mitsuha is actually today by Koen.
Really?
So,
I see. Nice.
April 2nd, 2022 is the exact date where they were supposed to reunite.
Nice.
And it just so happens to be here.
That's cool. I like that.
I like that little comparison. That's very cute.
I think not. More shippers. Coincidence? I think not.
Exactly. Right. What would you give this, Goldminor?
Yeah,
what would you rate this
ranking?
episode?
I give it a Kingdom Hearts 2.5 out of 10, which is a...
Wait, what?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
15 out of 10.
It's a 10.
All right. Okay, good.
All right.
Thank you. Who's next? All right. Shadow, you want to go next?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. Where to begin is like a lot of things have been said. Perhaps I'll go down to what I expected. I said it on Celebi forums on the Amor shipping thread when everyone's afraid about Amor shipping being sunk or something. I said my expectation of that episode was the episode establishes Serena as a character and had her relationship with Chloe, and then the last few minutes would be establishing her relationship with Ash, because a lot of people accuse Serena of being this satellite love interest for Ash, never being her own character, and they think either Amor should be sung and she be her own quote independent character and all this stuff. And it was like, yeah, this episode basically met my expectations and goes beyond that. I'm actually, when I watched it early in the morning, just watching the contest and all that stuff, I was really very nerve-wracking when every time I see Wallace and Ash battle, because it's like, that he's missing out on seeing Serena again. It's just like, Wallace, you are such a tease or a blocker,
Yeah.
But that just makes it all the more delicious. It's like having a big dinner that you're not really that fond of, but it's like dessert is coming and you're just feeling anticipation for it. But I did like Serena's story with Chloe or Koharu is that it's very natural, as everyone says before, and all the little references, subtle hints about the fact she had a history with Ash, but it's like it's not so obvious that Koharu, and it's like it's so subtle that any newcomer would not pick up the fact that she knows Ash. It's like not even on the nose. It's like you have to be a watcher of the XY series to understand it.
Yeah.
Wait, it's like I'm not sure what I could say about the whole Eevee plot that hasn't been already said before, but I can bring up the last 2 minutes of it, which honestly justifies why Wallace has to stop Ash from meeting up with Serena, because it becomes clear the moment the two see each other, hear each other, all that stuff, everything just focuses on them. Like Koharu and Go, they get pushed to the sideline, and it's just between Ash and Serena. It's like that's what everyone is caring about, and you were glad that, and we're all glad that it's not to the expense of Chloe. And it also, and I also noticed on Celebi forums that some people who did not like Amor shipping came to appreciate the Amor shipping myself because of how the episode reframes everything, particularly with the ending episode of X and Y. I kind of explained what I think about the kiss scene in the X and Y series, which I say signifies a transition of Serena's feelings for Ash, going from a childish crush to a more mature, love for Ash. It's like, because when you look at through the XY series, especially at the beginning, Serena has a crush on Ash, but it's always played for a laugh. It's like you always see her nervous. It's like, this is my first date with Ash, and then you see her trembling, trying to get his hand or something, or the dancing ball, like she's trying to desperately find Ash to dance with, and it's all played for laughs. And then you have friends like Bonnie or rivals like Mitty and Shauna. They're all teasing her about, did you tell Ash about your feelings? Or if you did not tell Ash, I will steal him. I mean, it's like all of this is played for laughs, and it just shows you. And I think this is why armor shipping is very important for Serena. It symbolizes Serena's indecisiveness, her unsureness, her self-doubt. She does not know what to do with her life, and because of this self-doubt, it's like you can tell things are slipping away from her. Like, she wants to tell how she feels about Ash, but she's so afraid of what Ash would say or react, because he's a dense kid. He might not notice it. And it was like this. These two things parallel with each other, but over the course of the Pokemon XY journey, she becomes more confident, she becomes more determined, more decisive of what her choices are that by the time of the end of her showcases, when the old lady, I forget, Pamelo, was she in that camp? The lady of the showcase.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. The old lady with the sunglasses.
Yeah. She. I recall that she makes this, despite the fact she lost to Aurelia, Serena makes this speech about how she now knows what to do, this determination and all this stuff. And it's just where she gets lead to the Hoenn contest this year. And it was like, yeah, that's the character conclusion arc for Serena in terms of her goal, but there's this unresolved feeling for Ash, which always is played for laughs and all that stuff. And this is why I think they did the kiss scene in XY, because it's a symbolization, a rite of passage to essentially become more grown up, more mature. Is that as long as she keeps these feelings from Ash to herself, always act so childish around Ash, she'll never truly grow up until she actually confesses. And this is very prevalent with the escalator. She's going down the escalators ready to go to her journey, but then she realized this is her last chance to finally confess up, like really show what she really feels for Ash. And then she runs up the escalator and makes the really definitive one, which is sealing it with a kiss, a sacred first kiss, which in Japan is a very serious business. It's like sacred first kiss. It's like you only reserve it to the one you really wanted to give it, and it's so sacred you are not even allowed to see it in public. Which is why the episode never shows the kiss, only their feet, because it was that important for her. And by kissing Ash on the lips, you notice she becomes more confident, more mature. It's like you notice when she finally reunites with Ash in the journeys, you can tell she's a bit shy and surprised, but it's never childish or anything. It's more mature, like reserved, like well controlled, and it's like, and this is why I think if you want to fully understand why the kiss scene is so important in X, Y, and Z, this episode is basically the result of all this, the epilogue.
Yeah,
how
I agree with that, honestly.
Yeah.
But what would you give this episode out of 10?
Yeah, what's the ranking?
I give it like a master ball. Master ball, how Suede used to say it is like, which is essentially 10 out of 10, because this is
nice.
This is a story that best explains Serena's character and where she is right now far better. And it's like, and because it gives so many people who weren't into the shipping a new appreciation of Serena as well as her romance with Ash. I think that alone should be worth a 10 out of 10, because if an episode can make you reevaluate episodes you did not like before and give you new appreciation, then that is a good story, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's move on to the next person.
If Muffinman.
Muffin?
I can go next.
All right.
Go ahead,
Muffin.
Also, I'd like to call back to Sway. Rest in peace, Sway's YouTube channel. I hope he can make a recovery. But I was very, very shocked by this episode. I don't know what else I can really say that everyone else hasn't already said. I think everyone was shocked. Just everyone. I think most people I've talked to expected this to be how other returns are, and they were very surprised that this was one of the better. I think probably the best return in Journeys, and probably, in my opinion, the best return since May's return. I don't think any other returns meets my expectations as much as this episode did. So about the writers making this episode, I don't know for sure, but I think one of the XY writers wanted to write this episode, but they got assigned to a different episode later down the line. Yes, so they got assigned a different episode later down the line. I think we might know what that episode might be, but I think that whoever wrote this episode, they researched X and Y. They looked into Serena's character. I really appreciate just how much they understood this character. They understood, okay, what can we do to improve upon this character? They showed development, which is another reason why I like this episode. She matured. I just, I would give this episode a, I give this episode a 8 out of 10. The thing that bothered me was just Wallace. I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
They just did him very dirty, and Journeys just has to make someone look bad, and I guess unfortunately this week was Wallace. But other than that, like, I think the contest was fine. I know it's different from what the ones we're used to earlier in the series, but I think it was fine. Just a different view of contests. I really like in the contest how they didn't make Serena look bad to make Koharu look good. They showed that Koharu was a rookie. This was her first time, and they showed that Serena was a good performer, just like we all knew she could be, and she really should have won. But she was one of the top performers, and probably one of the top performers now in the Hoenn region. So I like that Journeys has been having old characters look bad, but they made Serena look good this episode. So yep, 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So we have 2 more speakers, and then we're going to be wrapping it up. So if Red Dragon wants to go.
Go ahead, Red Dragon.
You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I have the guts about this episode, because this episode, Serena is probably my second favorite, like, Poke Girl behind Dawn, so I had to make a little rant here.
Yeah.
I did not like how they treated Dawn in her episode. And, like, they make Serena a way better court, or at least show Serena what she's doing.
Right.
More than I say what Dawn was doing. It's like, Dawn's like, Serena's like, oh, I'm doing contests. Okay, at least I know what you're doing. You're doing, Dawn. Like, Dawn, what are you doing this whole time?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Serena, I'm like, Serena's actually doing something, you know what she's doing, and you see an update, and I'm like surprised that Serena got a new outfit. I'm gushing over that new outfit. I'm like, this outfit, it looks so cute. I'm like, I really do like the outfit. I'm surprised they gave Serena a whole new look, but they couldn't give Dawn a whole new look. And I'm like, even though we had the remix and everything, they could have gave her a new outfit, but they didn't give Dawn a new outfit, so I'm like, I'm kind of salty by that. But let me get back to the Serena thing. So, one thing I liked is that the way how they brought Serena in was actually pretty good. She's mature, more reserved. You know, she's more calmer. Like, you know, like she's not as shy as she used to be, and she's much more confident in herself. So I like that. And the way how she mentored Koharu was actually pretty good because it supposed to show that Koharu is a rookie compared to Serena, who is a pro at this point, a pro performer at this point. So it's supposed to contrast that, Koharu is the rookie to Serena as a pro, and also like I liked how they didn't kind of make Koharu look like good to make Serena look bad. Serena was good throughout the whole episode, and her performance was real good. I actually like how the fact that she has Delphox now. I'm actually surprised by that. So I'm actually surprised she has Delphox, so I'm pretty cool. And Tantrum knows Ice Punch. I actually was very surprised by that. But I have to say this one thing. If the bad thing about this episode, like I said before, was Wallace. Wallace just got the worst treatment. I mean, but the weird thing is in Diamond Pro, he did mostly focus on him and Dawn, but Ash hasn't really had an interaction with him. I'm surprised he even remembers Ash. I was surprised by that. He didn't have that much interaction with Ash in Diamond Pro, so it was kind of weird that he remembers him. Apart from the contest, but other than that, Wallace got treated dirty as a joke. And it's kind of funny how Go wanted to go to the contest, and Ash is battling Wallace, and it was just a gag of like, oh, Go wants to go see the contest, but Ash is battling freaking Wallace, and it's like, Go was like, come on, Ash, we gotta go, we gotta see Koharu perform, and then Ash is still battling Wallace, and it's like, okay, it was funny the first time, but then after 2 times after that, it was just kind of getting and then Wallace to give Ash the badge again, the rain badge again, which that was pointless. I feel like it was pointless to give Ash a duplicate badge that he already has. And then Lisia was there, and I mean, she was alright, but I mean, like, after that last episode, I couldn't stand Nagatalia. And then just...
So what are you ranking it?
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay, cool. All right, we got a lot of 10s. I don't think in this group, I don't think we've got dropped past. I think we got an 8. We got 1 8. And then
we had 1 8. Everything else is like 9s and 10s.
Yeah,
but
and last but not least is gonna be Joedaflamin. Line.
Go ahead.
What's up, everybody? How you doing today?
Hey. How's it going?
Good.
Well, I mean, for starters, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I'm probably the only one who's going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's not 100% perfect, but it was definitely better than I think most of us were anticipating. I mean, we all kind of figured that eventually Serena was going to return just because, I mean, everybody's returning in some way, shape, or form, even if it's in a flashback that you saw with May. So we don't know what's going to happen with her. I'll hope that, her voice actor in Japan is feeling good and all that, but we know that that's a completely out of left field request and whatnot. I mean, for me, the one thing that I don't think I've heard any of you guys mention is straight up, Serena's earrings were the same as Delphox's ribbon from that episode where she learned Fire Blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think I heard anybody say that, which to me that was the first thing I noticed. Was that, which when I saw that I was like, wow, now that is a good piece of continuity that you're gonna play into that by going there. And then also, I mean, having Delphox evolve, I mean, I get where people are like, why didn't Chespin evolve?
Lady, just subscribe. Let's go.
At the same time, here's what I'm going to say about that. I'm more content with Chespin staying in its first form because at least it won't get worse as it evolves. I think the Delphox is the second best of the Kalos final starters, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for me, I mean, the whole situation was, well, I get where you guys are coming out with Wallace and all that. That was fun, though, that Ash pretty much mispronounced the name of Drake, even though he sort of remembered him, remembers Steven, and forgets Wallace. But at the same time, it's like you didn't battle Wallace.
What's up, lady?
For the rain beds, you battled Juan. Of which now, where's Juan? You gotta bring Juan back now.
They don't. Juan wasn't in Oras. So he's not important. He was an Emerald.
Who cares? Bring him back.
Nah, they got Oras to promote. That's the recent shit, at least in terms of video. That's more recent than Emerald was. That's probably why.
True, and I mean, like I said, it was a 9 out of 10. I mean, my thing is, what I want to see truthfully, and I like that Great Gatsby reference, even though, admittedly, he says never seeing that movie.
Yeah.
I do think that going throughout the whole situation of that green light or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked it, and at the same time, I want to see what they can do with it moving forward. Like, at the end of it all, let's say Ash does win the World Coronation Series, is that going to be... Like, are we actually going to see a kiss on live TV?
No. Child show. Children's anime.
I really hope they don't do that.
Children's anime. It'll be forced.
Well, good point. I mean, I also have to remember, they did... what's it called, with Mimikyu, they were like in the dub, they were like, this is a family show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had to remember that, but I mean, in all fairness, I mean, like I said, I mean, I wasn't trying to overstay my welcome.
No, you're
and
good.
Whatnot.
You're fine.
Because I messed up that first time, and I didn't want to mess up again.
You're fine. I mean, you said your piece. You gave your score. I think, so that is pretty much the last of this group, correct?
Yes, and we're done. So, everyone has given their
thoughts.
Thank you
guys so much.
Everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for giving your thoughts. I really appreciate it. And it's really good to see that you guys have been very positive about this and very civil. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. But with that being said, Emmy, I believe you're going to go ahead and do your take. And then and then finally, we've got me.
We got you.
Then there's me.
Exactly. I mean, like, I keep mine short because I still need to rewatch it and everything. But I'm overall very happy with this episode. I was so worried. I was so nervous just because I really love Serena. She is one of my favorite characters, and I very much relate to her struggle. And it's like, I just didn't want them to mess her up because Journeys has just had that case of just messing up characters' returns. And this was the one character where I feel like they wrote her so well to end off in X and Y that bringing her back would just ruin her story completely. But somehow, like Joker says, is this Journeys we're watching? Because, bro, I'm very surprised and I'm very pleased of how they've handled her return. Everything that we got, I was super happy about. I mean, like, my only complaints were, like, how everyone has already said, Wallace and, what's her name? The Hoenn girl?
Lisia?
Lisia? Yeah.
Lisia.
With her as well. Yeah, so those two are the only people I have problems with. They're kind of not needed for this episode, in my opinion. Like, if they just left it at... I mean, they kind of need something for Go and Ash to do, I guess, for, like, a distraction, because I'm honestly fine with how that got handled.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Wallace got treated really badly. But you know what? Like, it's a small nitpick. Unfortunately, like someone said before, like, some people have to suffer, I guess, when it comes to Journeys, but I'm glad Serena didn't. So, I'm very happy, and I'm very relieved as well. My goodness. So, I would, if I had to give it a score right now, I would give it a 9 out of 10. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead, Tyrone. You've been waiting patiently.
Oh, boy. So much pressure. I always do this on Journeys. Now, today, it just feels like weirdly like there's a million people watching this time around. So, I want to get the bad out the way because I like this episode. And I feel like we need to go ahead and get the bad out the way now. The pacing of this episode was kind of wonky when you consider that Koharu has to share this episode with Ash and Go. So what we wound up running into is this sorry, I was reading that. What we wind up running into is this weird cross where we have to make Ash and Go a part of the episode. But to do that, we have to find a way for Ash to not meet Serena, but at the same time meet Serena at the very end. So they got to do this meticulous plot that keeps them busy. I would have, if it were up to me, I would have preferred Go trying to catch the Altaria as a joke a little bit more. If we have to go with the running joke that keeps them going longer, rather than drag Wallace through the mud. Wallace to me, is an important enough character to where it's clear he's what Nando is essentially in Diamond and Pearl. He's a battler, he's a trainer, but he's also a coordinator in that sense. So much to the point where he has an entire contest named after him. So he holds a lot of weight. And even in his appearance in Diamond and Pearl, whether you like Diamond and Pearl or don't like Diamond and Pearl, he was very well respected. Here, he does not seem respected at all. Ash doesn't remember who he is. He defeats Wallace with little to no effort, despite the fact that he had to fight an Elite Four member previously with more strength, and even weaker trainers with more strength than he's done before. He calls Wallace's battle a practice battle, while Wallace is being treated like a joke he's forgotten about. He's overshadowed by Steven Stone. Ash ends up having to leave him momentarily so that he can go see. Like, this isn't a good impression for Wallace. And this is his first debut in Journeys. Now, if they bring him back, I mean, unfortunately, we would have to hope they bring him back. But the sad part is that this is his first debut. And that's a problem to me, is because this is how he's treated from jump. And it's not a good look. It just isn't. No matter how many ways you want to put it, they had to, it's like I said, that made the joke earlier. They have to sacrifice Wallace in order to make this character look, in order to bring, the real important aspect of it, which is obviously Serena. But Wallace unfortunately gets shafted like this, which is, if you're an AG fan or if you're a DP fan, this feels like complete disrespect towards a character they went out of their way to drag from AG to DP in order for him to host an entire contest based off of him. So it just, the level of reputation they have with him just feels weird, and Ash and Go have to suffer too, because now they have to be a part of what's essentially a running joke for this episode. We can't go see the contest in time because we're too busy doing this thing. And like I said, if we absolutely had to make a running joke for this, they already started it up. Altaria left the Pokeball, so Go's gonna make it a mission to try and catch this thing multiple times. Until eventually either A, they fail, or B, they give up. Which I don't like Go missing out on Pokemon captures just for jokes. To me, that's not a good joke. But for this particular instance, they could have at least had him trying to catch the thing until he finally gets the Altaria, and then realizes that they've been trying so hard that they ran their time and they rushed to where they need to be. That would have been good too, because honestly, the best part for the Journeys cast, at least, was Koharu doing her contest. And it's very good to see that that happens, and Professor Sagaragi really is the only one that gains any benefit from that, because that's his daughter. It would have, Go's a close friend of Koharu's, so it would have been nice while they're running back, while they do a scene while Go's running back, that he looks at his phone while they're running and sees the contest, sees Koharu's layer of the contest, only to realize by the time it's over, they're too late. And Ash isn't looking at his Pokedex because he's just running too far ahead or whatever, I don't know. But, yeah, that's the bad side. The pacing is done really wonky, and that's only because it feels like Ash, Go, Wallace are the three characters that have to eat up screen time for the sake of this happening. It's very clear this is supposed to be a Koharu and Serena episode with Lisia, is it Lisia? With Lisia sort of in there as like yeah, that's right, she was in Oras too, remember her? But now for the good sides, obviously. Now, to talk about the good sides, I have to go into one thing that I liked about X and Y the most, or at least when it came to Ash. The moment I saw Ash stand on the tower, the Lumiose Tower in episode 2 of XY to confront Garchomp, there was one thing I noticed from Ash that just like washed me over completely and made me fall in love with him as well as this series. and it was competence. It felt like legitimately good maturity and competence on Ash's half. That one shot of with the wind blowing in his hair and stuff, and Ash and Froakie and Pikachu standing to confront Garchomp was like the moment I stopped and looked and went, they didn't reset Ash. They didn't make him a novice. He's a legitimately strong, mature trainer at this point.
Yes.
That's the same level of energy I felt coming from Serena in this episode, at least when she shows up. The reason that I normally don't care for character returns is because for the most part, a character usually returns in order to make another character look better, but they have to sacrifice their own competence. Or B, the character that's supposed to be this in the cast of the series currently gets backsided so that the new character so that the old character can come back and all the spotlight is on them. And technically that did happen, but it happened in a way that I feel like works this time. What Serena does is that she doesn't give way to Koharu here. She doesn't completely become incompetent compared to Koharu. She is better than Koharu, but Koharu never gets shafted for it. What she does is that Serena takes every step necessary to make sure Koharu gets better at what she wants. It definitely feels like when you're introduced to Serena, even if you haven't watched X and Y, she gives off this aura that she's been through stuff before, and because of this, she has the strength to make Koharu feel as if she's going somewhere. She quotes everything Ash told her. She gives Eevee the same pen that her Eevee had when it was still, where her Sylveon had when it was still an Eevee. She tells her, like, you know, some inspirational words in order to help her get better. She's treated as a character that hasn't regressed at all. If we did this based on how they did Dawn, then she would just be talking about Ash the whole goddamn time. Or to the very least, she wouldn't know what she wants to do, but she knows she likes Ash, right? So you can definitely feel that what they did with Serena versus the other characters that have come back so far, they handled her with very, with well-knitted gloves, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. They had to make sure to put a lot of detail because X and Y carried a lot of detail. The ribbon that Ash gives Serena on her ankle. The fact that her earrings look like the bow that ties together Delphox's stick.
Wait.
What?
Tyrone, wait, hold on. The ankle, like the, what's called the ribbon thing, actually, that's, they didn't bring that back. It's not on her character. Like, that's actually, that's actually like a beaded blue bracelet that's on her ankle. Ribbon. Yeah.
That's
Go ahead.
Well, that's lame now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, but the bow that's on the stick, like, that's a very important piece because a lot of people don't even like that episode. But remember, they have to draw that on there. They have to. They could have easily forgot about it. But they don't. They put that on there. Pancham still has the same glasses it sort of had during most of its contest debut. Like, a lot of the details they're adding on Serena, they had to make sure to... They had to make sure to carry those with very light gloves because they couldn't afford to miss any major detail because that's what X and Y did. It was so powerful with its symbolisms that a character's appearance means pretty much everything. And here it's very clear they do her contest performance really well and shows that she definitely has experience doing this now. It's a bit disappointing that she has to tie with Lisia, but they did that because Lisia is introduced in this episode, and it'd be kind of awkward if she got second place to Serena, although I would argue that Serena still would have beat her, but it is what it is. I can't change the past. I will say, though, that I like the fact that all of this happens in a very gradual way. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels like it has to be in a certain position. Whereas with Dawn, if we're comparing her to another coordinator, when she was with Dawn, it very much felt like she had to... Koharu was the more mature character and the more competent character for the sake of pushing her back because they don't want Dawn to hold too much spotlight. So what ends up happening is this formula, unfortunately, where Dawn has to stay stagnant for the sake of memory and nostalgia. Because we know who she is and that's about it. Where here, they were tasked with the ability to make Serena grow. And not just with her Pokemon evolving. Her Pokemon could have still been, her Delphox could have still been a Braixen, I'd argue, and it would still show her that her development is done. They did the Delphox thing to show that Braixen evolves into Delphox next. And they don't really talk about it either like they did with Clement, where Clement had to go, yeah, I evolved my Bunnelby into Diggersby, only for it to get one shot at some scenes after. Where here, we don't get any of that. We just see the Delphox. It's not like they're not constantly shoving it down our throats of, oh, this is what happened. No, it's a natural, it evolved, this is what happened. It's very much doing a lot of the show not tell in this situation. And for Serena, this is very important. It's integral to her character. And I can tell that the girl who hated doing like Rhyhorn races only because her mother told her to do it and was very unsure with her life and stuck at home most of the time and was shy and polite, who grew into the girl that was more competent and knew what she wanted to do, has now evolved into the girl that has matured, found her own fate, and told Palmero off. Palmero? Yeah, Palmero off.
Yeah. And
said, hey, look, I'm going to go to Hoenn and do this myself, because she was actually going to do tour with her and be sponsored, but she turns it down because she says that everything that I've in my life has been decided by not me, my mother, things like that. Now I have the ability to decide what I want to do, and I'm choosing to do this. So it shows that now that she's chosen what to do because of it, she is gaining reputation in Hoenn, and she's definitely showing that she can be a mentor, which is something Serena just didn't do. But the reason she's done it now is because she gained inspiration from Ash. The theming of X and Y was that everybody gained inspiration from Ash. He was a pivotal piece. Even characters who debatably were stronger than him, like Alon. Alon was stronger than Ash, however he gained the battling spirit and the reason for loving Pokemon by watching Ash battle again, because that's what Alon left behind when he got super serious about battling when working with Team Player. Everybody was inspired by Ash. He was the pivotal point. So because of that, you can definitely see that energy go off onto Serena. And you can definitely see her take charge. She's a mentor. She's a teacher. She's someone who can like be looked up to now rather than the one looking up. And I am legitimately impressed Journey's found a way to write that appropriately and show that she's grown. Dawn's philosophy when she came back was the bunch of no need to worry, which I guess if you had to bring it into it, like to be generous about it was supposed to be her saying not to sweat over major responsibilities and sort of relax. The problem here is that was never Dawn's message. That was never a lesson Dawn had to know. Dawn's whole thing was learning to say, oh, no need to worry, but when it came down to it, she had to buckle down and be more serious about things if she wanted to achieve her goal. The problem with her coming back in Journeys was that she pretty much put that in reverse to teach a lesson, but it also came at the detriment of her character. Here, what they're doing is that they're making Serena one of her own. She's not constantly like in the back burner or being shy or polite or being passive because she knows she can be assertive and take a step forward. This character has evolved, has gotten better, and again, I'm impressed Journeys was able to do that. That is legitimately impressive that they were able to pull that off. So then later when we see her in the contest, and then even later more so when she finally does see Ash, which is the moment I'm sure a lot of people wanted to be bigger than what it was, I think this is perfect. The reunion she has with Ash is absolutely perfect because it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like they had to do anything any closer than what they already did. Serena's kiss was the last thing she did for Ash, but after that she immediately just goes into telling Ash what she's doing for her goal. It's not like the other meetings with females and Ash where they're like, hi, hey, how's it been, or stuff like that, and then they gotta recollect or do all of that. No, she's telling Ash flat out, I'm doing this. And Ash goes, I'm doing this. They tell each other on equal footing what they're doing, and they're striving to become better, not just for themselves, but you can debatably say, and this is for more shippers, for each other. They took time out to say it, and the narrator even goes the extra mile, which means this was written, to say Satoshi and Serena. are both striving towards. They could have easily said, much like Ash and his friends, Serena's aiming towards her goal too. Nope. They said Ash and Serena. He made sure indefinite to say those two characters in that narrative description. Why did he do that is the question. He did it because they needed, like, if there's any way to show a relationship that's thriving, that is utilizing themselves, or to the very least Serena utilizing what Ash told her to become better, it shows so much, no more so than right here. This is it. This is indefinite growth. And it definitely shows that she definitely holds a place in Ash's heart. Also, they couldn't probably last too long together because apparently Go's supposed to be the one with Ash in this series, and he can't have a gay boyfriend if Serena's the one that's in that spot. But no, seriously. But jokes aside, this episode, if we were to take it as a Serena and Koharu episode, this episode would definitely receive a 10 out of 10. Indefinite. But there's a problem. It's not a Serena and Koharu episode. It's a Serena, Koharu, Ash and Go episode with Lisia and Wallace.
Lisia.
Yeah, you see, the biggest problem is the other characters have to put in their jokes and the thing. It feels so sad how the Serena portion feels so much like XY progression. Yeah. While the journey stuff has to rear its ugly head. And the sad part is the journey stuff is supposed to be the stuff that's on right now. That's the show that's currently happening now. But right now, what I'm praising it for is its X and Y stuff. And that's the problem I've always had with returning characters, is that unfortunately XY right now is the thing that I'm proud of, not journeys. The journey stuff, sadly, is its weakness. But I shouldn't be saying that about the series that's currently happening. It is journeys, yet journeys is the weakest aspect. Koharu's probably the only thing that's carrying this right now, and that's because she's legitimately learning from the characters, and I'm glad they saved Sylveon for last, because one, the last character who's involved with an evolution is a character that has an evolution in the series, because they easily could have had May with Glaceon, but they chose Regina instead. But
you know what my question is, though?
What?
My question is, will she continue contests, or was this just a one-off? Or was this just kind of to wrap up Eevee's, like, exploration of the possibilities it could become? Like,
I don't know, obviously. And the show kind of leaves it like that. And weirdly, I'm not mad at them for it.
Yeah, same.
Only because for Koharu, I think this was a good experience. I don't think she needs to go into contest this late, especially considering the fact that a bunch of other girls already do it. I like the idea that this was an experience she learned from. This was a part of her life. This was a chapter in her life, and who better to share it with than someone who's close to Ash already. It lets her know that the world of Pokemon is closer and more connected and interwoven than she thinks. Koharu's journey has been pretty much a journey of discovering the world of Pokemon and how it can help you decide who you want to be in life, which parallels with Eevee. But what she's also learned, much like Go, is that Ash has familiarized himself with a lot of people and Pokemon in the world, just simply because of all the things he's done within the world of Pokemon. I don't necessarily believe that she needs to just stick and go, oh, this is contest, this is what I plan to do. I think that this was something that helped her realize, oh, this is another step that I can take, and Serena was the character to help me learn it. Because through this entire episode, Serena guides her the whole way. It's never a moment where they have to go, okay, we've done enough talking, let's meet with Ash and Go, like they did with Dawn. Or it's not a moment where it's like, oh, this character only exists to spew exposition to Go because Ash is too busy battling the character that he remembers. Like, in this episode, we legitimately see Serena take the lead. She's the one guiding Koharu. She's the one telling her everything about contests, what she needs to know, accessorizing, and things like that. She even gives Koharu, like, the courage to go up on stage, which is good. because she's the very same one who didn't have the courage to do it when this happened with Ash. And kudos to Journeys for giving her way more PNGs. They gave her a lot. They gave her like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much of all her famous moments, too. Her biggest ones. So I love the fact, and I love the fact that she stays there till about nightfall. I mean, yeah, it's sunset when the boat takes off, but she stays there till nightfall. She stays there as long as physically possible before the boat's almost out of sight, and then they just leave it. And they leave the episode with her, of all people.
Yeah.
There's no panning back to the boat with Ash Go and the others. No, that episode ends with Serena on the end title screen. And that may not seem like much at the surface, but it feels like Serena's epilogue episode. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, Tyrone, hypocrite. You didn't want Serena to come back. I didn't want Serena to come back because I was scared of how they were going to handle her. But I see here that what they've done is that they did find a way to legitimately make her character competent and give her a good epilogue. Now, people are going to ask, well, does that mean you look forward to other Serena episodes? No, cut it.
No,
don't ever bring her back.
That's it. Leave it like this. Leave it like this.
Just like, and this time I mean it. Like, I know, like, and I will say, Journeys changed my mind in this one episode about how they can handle it. But that kind of bugs me too. You want to know why? It bugs me because it feels like they had the ability to do this with other characters. They just openly chose not to until episode 105. We're in episode 105, and they finally found a way to bring a character back legitimately well to where it doesn't overshadow. It didn't do any of the things that I normally get upset about when they bring a character back. The reason that is because, again, the character didn't get her ass whooped by some new Pokemon that just showed up, or the new character in a couple of seconds, regardless of the fact that they've been training for an entire series. The character does uplift the new character without falling into the background. The character shows growth. The character shows competence. It's funny because I've said May and Serena are my 2 favorite female traveling companions, and they're the only 2 I think that have gotten decent revivals of their character. When May came back during Wallace Cup, and when Serena comes back here. These 2 are the only characters that have had decent returns. The only ones. And they did it. But I do not want her to come back. What I feel happened is that while XY did have a good ending to me, I think what they had to do in these last few episodes, and I'm also seeing this in the Greninja episode that's coming up, what I think they're doing is that they're giving each XY character a cap episode. I feel like they didn't get the chance to do it in XY and XYZ, because XY and XYZ end in a way to where, Sun and Moon's coming, screw it.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I feel like what happened is that they're giving each of them an epilogue episode. They're capping them off. Clement and Bonnie had their episode 103. I don't count 104. I mean, yeah, they're in the audience and stuff, and they do the jokes.
Yeah.
But I think 103 was their episode. I think that was their cap-off episode.
Yeah, it was.
They even did the thing where Clement invents something to help Ash train and get better. They do that, and that's his cap-off episode. The problem is, he gets his ass whooped in seconds, so it kind of diminishes his gym leader status a little bit by making him get his ass whooped so quickly. But it did feel like a cap-off episode. He did contribute to Ash's victory against an Elite Four member. So that's kind of like, if you were to give it anything, it'd be that. And Bonnie and how she treats Dracovish, it's a Bonnie moment, and she gives advice to Go on how to catch a Froakie, which Bonnie giving advice to a character as young as she is beautiful in and of itself. So the XY crew, all of them, just got their cap-off episodes. And Greninja's gonna get his cap-off episode. I don't want them back after that, period. Done. Don't bring them back. That is it. They are done. I thought that was beautiful. Imagine, if you will, let's say they did, you know how they did the V-Volt theme in the credits of the Pokemon X and Y series? Like, they played the V-Volt theme and they showed what all the characters were doing and stuff. Now, take clips from this episode and episode 103 and a little bit of 104 and combine that with the V-Volt credit title.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
That would be really cool.
It would be cool. And then obviously some of the Greninja episode, you kind of got to do that too.
Yeah.
But this is it right here. It feels, and thank you, Indivisclus? I'm sorry. I can't read. But someone should do that at some point. Yeah, edit it together. This, like, I feel like they really wanted to do XY a little bit more justice. And I can feel the love, at least in this episode. You can feel the love sort of rubbing off the page on that one in this episode, right down to the music. Like, goddamn. They played that, what's that friends? It's called Friendship something. It's in X and Y. It's in the XY games. The dun 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 dun.
Oh, that song, yeah.
It's kind of like the rival theme, but it's slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the name for it. If someone can
and
help me.
yeah, someone in the chat will say it. Aqua Sakura, you said no love for Diamond and Pearl. I think, unfortunately, you want to know what it is? I think Diamond and Pearl, unfortunately, was shoved in due to marketing.
Promotion?
Yeah, marketing.
Yeah.
And they suffered marketing. So they sacrificed story. This little XY saga we're in right now with Journeys, I think what they did is that they legitimately wanted... It's just called Friends. Oh, yeah. The song...
okay.
Oh, my God. Yeah, to end it like that... I feel what they did was that they legitimately wanted to end using the story of X and Y. And I can't think of a better way than what they're doing right now here. I'm, again, legitimately impressed they did that. The Greninja episode, I'm not really, like, looking into. Like, oh my god, this kind of was it. Like, the main cast, I kind of got Greninja's whole thing. But if they're gonna give some level of clarity to that, then, again, if they can handle it as well as they did the Serena episode, then kudos. Now, to give it the score as a whole, based on what the episode's supposed to be, or what the episode is, not what it's supposed to be, I'm gonna go ahead and give this episode a 9. I'm giving it a 9.
Oh,
a solid 9.
I'm so impressed. Honestly, we've had, like, all the scores today have been nothing less than an 8. That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh. And I give it that 9 I give it a pretty firm 9 as of now. Obviously, it's subject to change during the pod, but as of now, I'm giving it that only because of the way, especially the way it ended.
Yeah.
The way it ended alone.
The ending was beautiful.
The way it ended alone to me was the episode. Like, just how Ash and Serena tell each other their goals, and then they part. It's never lamented on. They don't make this long sequence out of it. They don't have Serena blush. That in and of itself is A grade to me.
Yeah, it shows a lot of, like, maturity on her part as well.
Take Bonnie, take the voice actress of Bonnie, what she said in her interview. Take that to heart for those who didn't watch XY and XYZ. Go back and watch XY and XYZ now with this context and look at Serena's interaction from when she first meets Ash to now. Because remember when she first met Ash, she was so excited to see Ash, she was going to interrupt him in the middle of his gym fight. She was blushing, she was a mess. She was trying to run straight up to the stadium and stuff like that. And yeah, look at that. And then look at when they part. It feels complete. You can feel it. And some people are saying they cried during the boats party.
I was about to. I was literally so close to crying. Holy.
It definitely warrants it if you know what this character specifically been through. Like, you gotta see her. I dare you to watch episode 60 when she loses the contest and cuts her hair. Then watch this. Oh shit! That's your homework for tonight, people.
That's your homework.
Watch that episode. I'll tell you. Let's see. Like, we'll go to it. Give me a second. I'll go to a brief, which is. Give me a second. It is. There we go. Your homework tonight, if you will, is to go back and watch episode 60, a showcase debut or aim to be Kalos Queen. Serena makes her debut. Watch that episode then watch this one again. Like,
and you'll see
it. For the people who
night and day.
For the people who almost cried, bro, I feel that will make you cry. That's gonna finish it up. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it right there. It's just to see that moment, to solidify that. I definitely will say I am so impressed, but at the same time I'm bewildered and a little pissed off, just because that means, Journeys, you know what to do. And you've been not doing it this whole fucking time. I almost feel like I'm being pranked.
I don't know about that statement, Tyrone. I really don't think they know what they're doing. I think it's just because they had so much of pressure to make this episode good that they just decided to.
I know that people said the XY writers weren't in this episode, but what I think happened is that the XY writers were like, look, okay, so you're going to do Serena. You're going to do Serena come back, all right? Don't fuck this up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't you dare.
That's the thing.
Don't you dare fuck this up. You know what?